In the 1960s, how did we see ourselves?
Constant alliance with a completely uncultivated church.
The Rocky Road to Dublin, Tuesday at 10:10 on RTE 1.
Radio Television now on RTE 1. We join Anne Doyle and Eamon Horan for Sunday's main evening news and sport.
A&E crisis blamed on inefficiencies and lack of primary care. 2 more teenagers charged in connection with Ballymena schoolboy's murder. A tribute to Charles Haughey as Fianna Fáil celebrates its 80th anniversary. And the Premier County progresses in Munster, leaving Limerick backdoor bound. Good evening and welcome. A report on the health service which blames the A&E hospital crisis on inflexible work practices, a lack of community-based health care and inefficient management has been welcomed by doctors, though they have rejected some of its criticisms. The independent report was commissioned by the Health Services Executive.
This report looked at 10 Irish hospitals and it's the first comprehensive analysis of the healthcare system. It concludes there's no crisis in A&E, but rather a wider systems failure, which providing more beds wouldn't in itself solve. There are a range of dysfunctions and bottlenecks in the system. The report says hospital management is to blame for inefficiencies such as work being duplicated and facilities like X-ray departments working limited hours. GPs are unnecessarily referring people with routine ailments to A&E because they are unable to provide extended services themselves. And there's a lack of senior consultant cover at busy times, with junior doctors staffing A&E at weekends.
Consultants are in hospitals every day of the week, Saturdays and Sundays, discharging patients to make sure there's no blockages. We have, however, recommended that there would be greater flexibility in the health services. We did that as far back as 1999.
Well, I think we're extremely disappointed that a research like this would conclude that there is no crisis in A&E. I think it's clear to everybody in this country that there has been a crisis in A&E for a number of years. We do commend the Taoiseach for the efforts that she's putting in, but we would very much caution against short-term answers to the problem.
The Taoiseach and Minister for Health, Mary Harney, has described this report as useful and encouraging and a basis for the process of reform, which she is confident will start showing improvements in A&E within a matter of months. Bethan Kilfoyle, RTE News at the Department of Health.
More than 6,000 people attended a rally in Letterkenny demanding equal cancer services for County Donegal. People there want additional breast cancer services as well as financial support for patients who have to travel for treatment.
Thousands of people from all over Donegal ignored the lashing rain and marched from Letterkenny town centre to the town park to show their strong support for Donegal Action for Cancer's demands for equal treatment for Donegal cancer patients.
This is where it's needed. You know, people in Donegal count. You know, look at that there. If only she was here.
When I was going through chemo, I had to get 80 of them in Dublin and travel to Dublin for them. So it was, you know, the last 4 I got in Letterkenny, and the difference to go to my own hospital and get it and go home was absolutely fantastic.
5 minutes each day. You know, and some days it was 11 o'clock at night before I got my treatment. You know, so it was a pretty long day, and you know, that was away from your home, away from your wife, away from your family.
Donegal Action for Cancer Care is demanding a satellite radiotherapy unit in Letterkenny General Hospital so people don't have to travel to Dublin. They also want the immediate appointment of a breast surgeon at the hospital, where from the 1st of June breast cancer services are due to be scaled down following a decision by the medical board.
This has to be resolved. There's no reason why we can't have a permanent breast surgeon with the infrastructure and the funding that would go with that, so that women in Donegal can experience the same sophisticated treatments that are experienced around the country.
Donegal Action for Cancer is due to meet the HSE about its demands next Thursday, but they believe that the huge turnout and the strength of feeling at this rally will send a strong signal in advance to the HSE and to the government that they are a force to be reckoned with. Eileen Magner, RTE News, Letterkenny.
Two more teenagers have been charged in connection with the murder of Catholic schoolboy Michael McElveen in Ballymena a week ago. The pair were charged as police renew their appeal for more witnesses to the killing to come forward.
The teenagers arrested in Ballymena last week were questioned for 3 days by detectives investigating the murder of Michael McElveen. Last night, a 15-year-old boy was